What's good, Josh? Your man DJ Playboy back with another episode of the Perfect Talk podcast, man. And you know I hate doing an episode on my dog, my partner, my guy, Keith. Welcome on, Reggie.
You're
In the
what it
building.
is. Yeah, for sure, man.
What's going on, man? What's new?
Early in the morning. Hey, shit. Just chilling, working out. Labor Day weekend.
You already know. It is early though,
Rest
man. I'm about
in peace, Bob Marley.
I got my Grenada flag behind this. I'm about to grab that because I'm about to go do a gig out in Newburgh with Ayo Niche. So you know what I'm saying? I'm about to wave my flag and play mass.
Yeah.
like my dad would say.
It's some Caribbean joint.
Nah, not at all. It'll probably be EDM, but you know they dress similar.
He said, nah, EDM. Not even something close, but nah.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't know. I'm prepared for anything. I don't really know the hip hop, EDM, reggae. I'm prepared for whatever, which is cool. I like those gigs. Kind of walk into it to see the vibe. You know what I want to ask you actually is, do you like miss performing at all? You ever get like the itch?
Do I miss it?
Because you did. People don't know. You did stand-up comedy and like you acted for a little bit as well, right?
Yeah. So, do I miss it? I mean, in general, no. I mean, there's some things that I enjoy about it, or even if I like when I watch stuff, I enjoy it in a different way because I could imagine those people on stage. Even though I know, like if I watch Kevin Hart, I've never been in no stadium or nothing like that, but I could imagine like, even though he's Kevin Hart, he probably has a certain level of anxiety. Kind of like if you played a sport.
Yeah.
And then you're watching football, I mean, you probably not imagine every hit, but you could imagine what it's like to put pads on your shoulders and stuff like that. So, all in all, I don't miss it now.
That's because I started this year. I guess maybe it's this book that I'm listening to, and I'll tell you about it later. But like, I'm just looking at life a lot more introspectively and just figuring out, all right, well, why do we do the things that we do? And just really like, why am I performing? And if I'm 100% honest with you, it pays well. You know what I mean? Like that's why I like doing gigs. Also, I have like a dream and a goal to be able to, I guess, fund my life, finance my life, or be financially independent off of my passions, off of podcasting and DJing. That's a goal of mine. If I had to choose, I mean, podcasting, I do like podcasting a little bit more. I've been doing DJing for a lot longer though, and I just have like a knowledge of music. But yeah, if I had to be honest with you, I think it pays well, and I do. It's a thrill. It is a rush to perform it, and I think do well at it.
You're saying you're doing it for the money, or are you saying that the money and the joy of it?
The money and the entrepreneurial aspect of it, of I guess not having a boss, and I mean, kind of like you make if you kill what you eat, you know what I'm saying? Like if you get a bunch of gigs, you're gonna eat real good, and I don't know, like I like that aspect of it, and I like music. That in general, I do have a passion and a love for music. So, I don't like clubs though. I won't lie. I don't like clubs. I don't like being out 2:00 in the morning. I did that for like I had a job where I had to work like in the middle of the night. But I do like DJing, so I like, and that's cool. There's different ways to do it. It's festivals, performances. Like last time I rocked out with Ayo Niche, I was her performance DJ. And that was a different thrill. That was exciting. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's always weddings. You know what I mean? And so it's definitely ways to you're not confined to a club or anything like that. I love doing radio. Like I love doing when me and Show we'll do a mix on our radio show, Money Talks Radio. That's a thrill, you know what I mean, to put those out and things like that. So there's definitely a love for it, but I do it in front of people because it pays. You know what I'm saying? It needs some money. I guess I would just do it in my bedroom to myself, by myself to listen to if it didn't pay.
What's the profit puppy of the DJ world like? So by that I mean not necessarily stuff that people love or whatever, but like people say I'm gonna do this because for the money I pay in transportation or equipment or whatever, I get way more money back. Like, is there that type of gig in DJing?
I think that if I don't often just based my knowledge and experience, nightlife and weddings. You get a lot for weddings. I mean, but they ask for a lot. They're very demanding at weddings. You know what I'm saying? And that to me is more of a performative aspect. Like you're performing on a wedding more so than if you were in a nightclub where I feel like it's like a gig. It's like a set. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a comedian has a set where he goes out to a certain club and then different clubs and switch it up. based on that. Like that's what club DJing is. But you make a lot of money. It's nightlife. It's people spending 100% markup on alcohol, and,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean, a fee just to get through the door. Yeah, there's a ton of money to pass around. So I think that's why you
Yeah.
see those people with Vegas residencies and big time club DJs making more money than artists do.
Right. Yeah.
But they yeah, no, but DJing is interesting. I love it, man. And it to me it's an instrument. It's a skill. And it's also just a way, like I think it's a way to get your passions out, and just like I think the technology of it. From I think I was lucky to start out with turntables and actual vinyl. I don't know if that makes me realer than someone who didn't, or goes about it a different way. But I had that experience compared to now, and just the way the technology's at. I love that. Like that's amazing. Like you know what I
Do you
mean.
think there's an advantage to having had handled vinyl?
Yeah, for anything, any field you go into, I think, like let's say I was a mechanic and I started fixing cars. I know how to fix cars from the 70s as well as modern day cars. Yeah. In that respect, but I don't think it makes you a better DJ. And I'm not one of those like the DJ community, you might see some bougie DJs like, oh, well, you only do this, so you're not real, or you push buttons, you're not real. I think if you can entertain people, you're a DJ. Like I'm not of that
Right.
ilk. So but I personally, I guess, like just being a student of the game, I'm glad that I have that ability.
That's dope. I always enjoy hearing about like other industries, professions, ways of life, and how similar it is to other people. Because now I'm thinking about you talking about like DJs who are like purists. And they're like, man, you don't even know how to touch vinyl. You be pushing buttons. That's Serrata is the devil and all that type of shit. Is
Yeah.
there like OGs there, like with rocking Sean John velour suits? Just like,
DJ?
yo, man, you don't know about these vinyls.
I think DJing and comedy is very there's a parallel there. Like maybe I just listen to a lot of comedy podcasts, so I'll hear what
Mhm.
they talk about. But you can get heckled as a DJ. I say that to say, you know what I mean? That's just something that comedians have to deal with. So you might have a DJ just standing there looking at you like, this nigga pressing, but he ain't even scratching. And
Yeah.
then if you are scratching, this nigga pressing the fucking controller. He ain't touching turns. He ain't touching vinyl. And then if you are touching vinyl, some nigga dick riding you like, oh, you got vinyl, son? You want an original turntable? Like, I'm performing. You know what I mean? I'm working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But they will come to the booth and be heckling you.
I've been heckled before. But it's like it's you have it's the at a certain point, I guess, where I was at in performing. Like I guess all DJs, I guess, experience you. Sometimes you got people that could be a buffer between
Yeah,
you and the people that got requests. Sometimes you
yeah.
don't. You know what I mean? So like if it's I have been heckled before, but one time I remember, I think, and it was funny. It was right before we went to Vegas, and I think I needed that money to like pay spec back for buying my plane ticket or something crazy like that.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
didn't even give a fuck. I was just like, it is what it is. But I mean, you're dealing with drunk people. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I remember, I might have brought this up on the podcast before. I remember one time this girl was in the booth and she like touched the turntables and Show like barked on her, like, but he did it unnecessarily. Like he turned all the music off, hopped on the mic and barked on her. But
I mean, what do you mean? What do you what's unnecessary to you? Because I feel as if that
no,
was a.
yeah, well, no, I thought it was very nice. She didn't appreciate it. And
Oh, I thought you said it was unnecessary.
I
Okay,
did,
no,
but that probably used the wrong. I know she shouldn't. She was in the wrong, and
yeah.
he could have stopped her without doing that. So I guess yeah, it's unnecessary in that respect. But she deserved everything she got. Like I don't
Well,
know.
I feel so. You mentioned the parallels between DJing and comedy.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about comedy is that when somebody heckles you, you still got the mic. I mean, they might win, but you start with the upper hand if you got the mic. So
As
I
a
feel as if
DJ, so
show said,
you got the mic. Oh, my fault. Go ahead, my bad.
no, the performer has the microphone and
Mm-hmm.
you're in the crowd, like you're just the crowd. So not just the crowd because you're very important, but like
One of
show
many.
is at the exactly he's
Mm-hmm.
the DJ and she comes invading his space. So he says, you know what? I know how to control this thing. I
Mm-hmm.
know how to control the crowd. I have a live microphone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna flame her right quick and then get back on to entertaining people.
Yeah. No, and it turned left. It really did. Like she got out of hand.
Yeah.
So no, if it, but it he did it. He handled it the right way, and you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
it could have went left in the other direction. But no, she definitely acted very ignorant after that, and she had to be like escorted out and all that.
There
But
you
it's
go.
yeah.
If not for show, man, we're blowing the whistle, man. That's how you gotta believe DJs, man. Hashtag believe DJs.
But
Word up.
same thing with my man DJ Sunkiss. Shout out to Money Talks Entertainment. Like Sunkiss will flame somebody, but you know what I mean, he'll just embarrass someone, but you know what I mean,
Yeah.
but if you're in the wrong, yeah, you will get called out. And you seen it, like how the DJ community came together when Wiz Khalifa was kind of wilding. Comedians came together, you know what I'm saying? When Chris Rock got tackled, when Dave Chappelle got tackled, when Chris Rock got slapped and Dave Chappelle got tackled. So no, there are a lot of parallels to it. You even brought up, it was something else I was thinking about, like I was thinking about this more like ministers, but I was like, I guess it applies to anybody that kind of like is on a platform and can control a crowd. Like I was like, oh, why do bitches just fall in love with, like, you know what I'm saying, dude, like politicians, or why do like congregations just fall in love with a minister? Like they might like him, they might correlate him with God, you know what I'm saying, because he's their connection to that they don't even might even realize that they're doing that. And it's like, I think, you know, one, being able to control a crowd is big, but once you are on a platform of some sort, like you're slightly elevated, I think subconsciously you have an advantage over people. Like they're like, oh, something must be important about this guy. He's on the platform, you know what I mean? He's up top. And I was like, and I kind of get that from DJing. Like you step up, you are in that position. Same thing with comedy. Like I'm sure bitches, like a lot of dudes get twat off of being funny. But you know what I'm saying? They were funny in life, and they probably, but they stepped on the stage and had a microphone and controlled the room. And it was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like same thing. A lot of DJs, same thing. But it's a fun thing. I think you got to enjoy it. There were times when I didn't enjoy it, and now I think I'm kind of having like a resurgence back into it and enjoying it a little bit more now. But I'm also kind of doing it under my terms. I feel like and you might be experiencing this, but I'm experiencing this more than just my musical and my DJ journey. It's like I'm just being myself more. Whereas I guess when I first started DJing, I played more to what crowds liked, which, you know, you got gigs, you got certain spots where they like certain types of music.
Wait. So you're saying you play the shit that you like at gigs? Like you be playing smooth jazz just at a random?
I think I'm more representative of myself, though. I feel like, where at times I didn't always feel like that. At times I played music I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? Like just because you kind of needed that in your arsenal. Whereas now I won't do that. I'll just be like, I don't play that. You know what I mean? Or
even if it's the banger, like if it's one of the mandatory club songs, you're like, man, I don't like Kodak Black. I don't like the cut of his jib. I just can't.
Well, I mean more so as genres. Not as
Okay.
like not specific songs. Like there's songs I play that I don't personally love, but I know a crowd loves. But there were times when I felt like I was playing certain genres that I wasn't even like into the culture at all. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if that, I don't know, it didn't feel representative of me. Where now it feels more so like I'm coming at it from like more of a genuine place, and
Got it.
I'm seeing the fruits of my of it is paying off for me. I'm being it, like my whole thing. I guess 2022 has been like, and not that I felt like the previous year I wasn't doing this, but I'm just seeing the more that you're just genuine to yourself and you do what you love and what you like to do, I feel like it just kind of like, I don't know, you give that off to the world and then more good comes back to you. Maybe I'm being real like woo woo right now, but I don't know. I just feel like I spent a portion of my life being what other people liked or what I thought other people liked and like wanted to be, and now I'm like living in myself, and it's coming out in my podcast, it's coming out in my radio show, it's coming out. I'm everything that I had said I wanted to do and set out to do, I'm like living in it right now. So I'm just making new, bigger and better goals and bigger and better aspirations. So it's just like, I don't know, bike riding. Like I'm about to do some work on. I'm about to do like I'm about to install like mud flaps on my car. I ain't never do shit like that before. Just not, and then one day I just woke up and I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna just start doing DIY. I'm gonna fix a bike pedal. I'm gonna do it. Just I don't know.
For
You know what I
fun
mean?
or for you actually need them done?
Nah, for fun, just for shit. Not
Okay.
for look, for aesthetic purposes. So, but it's
Okay,
just
got
like,
it.
yeah. But it's just like I would have paid someone to do. I would have paid someone to do that bike shit that I sent you. I told you about. I had to change my bike pedal. I'd have definitely paid
Yeah.
someone, overpaid them. I'm pretty sure, just based off of the extent of the job and years, just like not, and I needed the money, you know, but still would have paid other people to do it. And now I'm just like, fuck it, let's do it. Like, what's the worst that happened? Like, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Like,
well, riding a bike down a hill going 20 miles an hour, what's the worst that could happen?
no, I don't know. Like, I just I wouldn't get there. I would have realized I was
Yeah,
broken before that. You know what I'm saying? I would
yeah,
just
I feel you. I feel you.
and I also wouldn't take on bigger things than, you know what I'm saying. I'm not like trying to do engine modifications on a car. So.
let me soup this shit up. Let me my shit is a V6. We add 2 more cylinders to this bitch. Make that shit
Yeah.
hum.
Nah, I'm living in my limitations, but I'm also just trying to expand my horizons.
Hey, this dude on YouTube make it look easy. Let me just
They do make it
extra
look. That's the
alternate in
part that
my
get me
shit.
mad. YouTube has saved me a lot of money. YouTube and Amazon have saved me a ton of money, but niggas make it look too easy, bro.
Oh yeah, it'd be ridiculous, man. They'd be like, "Yeah, you just unscrew this screw. It's hand tight. Matter of fact, man, put that drill gun away. You lift it up, boom, 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 and you have an entirely new deck." Then I go out. First step, I try to unscrew a screw on car. I'm like, nope, come through. 3,000, fine. The YouTube. I try to do YouTube, but it didn't work out.
Oh, they're like, oh, you did the YouTube? That's an extra 1,500 on top. I'm gonna have to
Yo,
clean up
word
your
up.
mess now.
Yo, it's funny because you talk about like people, like you're talking about people standing on the sideline, like looking at the pure, like you think about how the profession is supposed to be done, quote unquote.
Uh-huh.
Um, One time I went to the glasses shop and I just needed, so I buy glasses from this site called Zenni Optical because I wear glasses, but not all day. I use it to do certain things, like if,
Mm-hmm.
for night driving and to do computers. So I order from Zenni. You get glasses for like $30. Whereas if you get glasses the normal way, you go, you check your insurance, see who's covered. You go, you get a free exam, and all the cheapest glasses is like $100, right? But I
Okay.
don't wear glasses like that for me to pay all types of money for it. So my Zenni glasses came and it was a little bit too tight. So I went to the glasses shop, say, hey, can you adjust this? And first thing he says, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna have to heat them up a little bit. You're gonna have to sign a waiver to say that if I break your shit, that we're not held responsible because these are Zenni optical. These are trash. Like it's kind of cheap. And then I stand up to the adjustment. I'm like, come on, bro. Yeah. Before you could tell me whether or not you could do the job, you're gonna go just shit on like the new age joint that's taking your business away.
That's exactly what it is, yo.
Yeah,
You like,
crazy.
keep like, yo, there's people online, nigga, chill.
So it's just probably like mechanics or something. Like, yo, you did YouTube? Yeah, that's right. You got to pay that YouTube premium.
They probably do hate that. Nah, I do. Yeah, you're right about that. Like, I was even talking to Spec, like, on the last episode about like, remember the AI rapper? We had heard about it, and I
Yeah,
was like, I wonder. I'm pretty sure they're gonna try AI podcast. And at first, I was kind of apprehensive to it, and then like halfway through the conversation, I was kind of like, nah, I should probably embrace it because all the niggas that be apprehensive and stuff get left behind. You know what I mean? Like
yep.
Blockbuster and all that shit. So you bet. I was like, shit, Keith and Spec might not be able to make it an episode. I might need
You
that
got
AI
turned.
rapper on this bitch.
By the way, man, the AI rapper, if you're not tuned into like today's rap, like tuned in, when you listen to it, be like, yo, this dude is all right. Like
You
I
wouldn't
like,
know. I
yeah.
wouldn't know. Yeah.
Like the rap that I was tuned into, I think whatever rap you was tuned into between the ages of something like 15 and 25, like you're into it. Like you know all the ins and outs and machinations and when something's off and all and when everything is right and all that stuff. Today's rap, I like it, but I like the vibe. Like I don't be listening to the lyrics and shit. Sometimes I do because I appreciate the different metaphors they have. Like there's mad metaphors for guns and getting shot. I You don't understand how much I enjoy that shit. So a degree that's unhealthy. I'm like, yo, that was a cool way of saying he got shot a few years ago. The thing was metaphors for doing drugs or being on drugs,
Mhm.
or ways to describe cocaine and calling it the names of various white women, white celebrities.
Mhm.
And like, yeah, man, I got that Chris Helmsworth for the low. And but yeah, man, I was that AI rapper wasn't half bad. I mean, the N word thing was kind of weird because it's like the algorithm, the algorithm not created. I think it was created by like an Asian team or something like that.
Yeah, it was.
But it's weird because you wonder if let's say this team was good, is this like a reflection of what rap is? You know, this thing, I guess, I don't know if it crawls the internet or they just put in mad different types of songs in it and then it analyzes what's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, N-word is gonna pop up. Granted that I guess see now in the programming, I wonder if you could put in like kind of like NBA Jam, NBA Live. Damn, I'm man, old school. 2K. Like in Bulls versus Blazers when you create a player.
For the Genesis.
When you create a player, right? Like, can you put what the player is? Is this dude like buff? Is he from the west side, the east side? Is he black? Is he white? Is he Asian? I feel as if they did that, or you know, the N-word thing would be a little bit.
Oh, so then only the black AI rappers can use the N-word.
Right. Or if they make a white one say the N-word, that this white one, you could also pull up like a history, like, oh, they grew up in the south side of Detroit. They grew up around black people and don't know different. Like, you can put that into your custom.
You know what that felt like? That the people who were nervous about AI rap, like the powers that be, like shut it down. They're like, yo, we're gonna make this a bigger problem than it has to be. Shut that shit down. Like drop that motherfucker or whatever. Like that's really what it's, because it's like, what are you expecting him? He's making music. First of all, Asian people consume hip hop music that has the N-word in it. So it's not like they're not part of, they listen to they probably spend a ton of money on the shit, to be honest with you. So it's just like it seemed like a bullshit way, like a loophole. Kind of like and I guess to transition into some topics, your man Aries Spears got in trouble over the Lizzo shit, and then some child molestation shit pops up. It's like when you fuck with the wrong people, bro. Like for anybody out there who don't know,
Tiffany Haddish is in there too.
Yeah, Tiffany Haddish caught up in that shit. That's helping Aries a little bit, I guess, maybe, but I don't know, because this shit is a weird case. But
yeah, because Aries ain't likable, but Tiffany Haddish is super likable.
Super likable, exactly. But yeah, I guess for anyone who doesn't know, Aries Spears was asked about Lizzo, which I think was just a friendly question. I don't think the interviewer was trying to set anything up. He just kind of was like, everyone likes Lizzo. Like, you know, let's wrap this interview up the right way. And brought up Lizzo, and to which Aries Spears responded, "I can't get past the fact she looks like the shit emoji. She's got a very pretty face, but keeps showing her body off. Like, come on, man, come on, yo." Then went on to say, "I'm sorry, listen, I ain't the most in shape nigga in the world, but I still, when you funny and you got swagger and confidence and you decent looking, I think I'm at least handsome. You get pussy, but a woman that's built like a plate of mashed potatoes is in trouble." You know, which caused people to say like Aries has a just a lack of self awareness. I think, you know what I'm saying, it's the pot calling the kettle black. It's and then also to me, there's always something corny about a dude that wants to crack on women.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like someone's like corny about that, and then going to her weight, it seems like the most abusive way to try to like crack on a woman. Then you got the whole like why you dissing black women thing on top of that. I don't get where Aries was coming from. I think maybe that joke worked in a room before, and maybe he thought it would work here, but it was just corny on all aspects. It's just I don't see it. And I'll let you talk on it if you want.
That room was probably just him and two of his boys. It sounds like something that he thought of before with the setup and punchline kind of format of what he said. But the thing is that even if you attribute the backlash of it to today's times of cancel culture, even like 15, 20 years ago, that joke would have kind of been whack. Like you'd been like, yeah, look at Kelly Price. Like it's joking on someone's, especially a woman, and then especially a black woman's physical traits is just is weak. Just from a joke perspective, just kind of weak. But then just from a humanity perspective, you're on a radio, like it just doesn't land well, especially coming from like him, right? I mean, honestly, if you're gonna joke on somebody's physical thing, like you can't look like Aries Spears. You can't be too perfect and put together. You got to be right in the middle, like me. Like I could, like in 1985, I could put together. Like I'm not super in shape. I'm not super fat. I'm right in the middle. I could make physical jokes about people, but it will still be.
Yeah, like it had to be 85 too. It couldn't be like that. Yeah, like you said, because you like, come on, come on, dog.
Eddie Murphy didn't even make fat. Eddie Murphy made all the immature jokes on his stand-up specials back in the '80s, but I don't think there was any fat jokes.
Yeah,
There was
even
a
when they were
fat
talking
joke,
about
but it was,
even when he was talking about McDonald's, he wasn't even talking about fat. I don't think there was.
he made one fat joke, and it was about a fictional character's Aunt Bunny, I think.
Fat jokes is too easy, I think, for comedians.
Yeah,
It's like, come on, we've been doing this since elementary school, bro. Like, come on, what do we?
right.
And you got if you're gonna make one, come correct.
Yeah,
That shit got to be a killer. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've heard
yeah.
people make fat jokes in 2022 that I had to chuckle at. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's like, number one, you got to pick the right target. And
Right,
number two, it's like, come on, like, come correct. But and Lizzo winning, right? That's bold. But maybe his goal was this. Maybe his goal was, we weren't talking about Aries Spears. Nobody's talking about Aries Spears before. So that's a weird way to get attention. And I'm glad that, I mean, I'm not glad because this involves a kid, but I'm glad that this negative stuff kind of follows people when they do corny stuff. Like sometimes
right.
people taking it too far. I mean, if he was a criminal before, why did you wait till it was like pile on Aries Spears time to come up with these allegations? But I like seeing punishment for the corny shit that people do. I guess Amber Heard in some cases, like, not to get weird, but some people feel like that was punishment for her lying, so to speak, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, no, I like when it's done in a legal way though. But what's happening with Aries Spears is like now it looks like a skit that him and Tiffany Haddish did for, I believe, Funny or Die years ago that involved a kid, two kids. One was being known as Jane Doe, she was 14 years old at the time. Said she met Tiffany Haddish, said it'd be the perfect role for her. Went to a studio with Haddish, showing a video of two adults grotesquely shoving as much sandwich as they could into each other's mouths and getting towards each other's respective mouths. The two were moaning and making sexual noises as they both ate a sandwich in a manner that simulated a sex act. At that point, Aries Spears told Jane Doe to mimic what she had seen and heard in the video. Haddish advised her how to do it. It says Jane Doe said that she did what they asked her to do so she could go home. There's another 7-year-old John Doe who arranged to film a Nickelodeon sizzle reel at Spears' home that was booked by Haddish. They allegedly stripped him down to his underwear for a video about the mind of a pedophile. According to the lawsuit, video shows Spears lusting over the 7-year-old child and molesting him, as well as performing sexualized acts throughout the video. The complaint claims Haddish was present during the filming of the entire video. This is
There's
messy.
more, man. Damn, this is traumatic.
Nah, it's messy. That's but basically,
Yeah,
I think
get the gist.
some of the videos were showcased. I believe the one with the second one with the John Doe was showcased on Funny or Die, and then I guess Funny or Die said that they found this video absolutely disgusting and would never produce such content. We're not involved with the concept, development, funding, or product of this video, and I guess took it down.
Basically, we didn't see it, but now that we're aware of it, we took it down.
They took it down in 2018.
2 years ago.
Yeah. 2018, yeah. So I guess probably somebody complained about it at some point. But yeah, that's
speaking about bad jokes. Yeah, I didn't see it personally, but like if Funny or Die didn't even attempt to like defend it, like as art, like oh they just doing art, da da da. You know, I guess it's just one of those idea of just stepping away because I'm not no lawyer, nothing. One thing I'll say about the legal part of it is that according to Tiffany Haddish's lawyer, basically this same group has tried to. I think now the older one of those two kids is an adult now. So, but up to now, the mom, I believe, has been trying to put this case through court, and basically Tiffany Haddish's lawyers are basically saying that, oh well, she's been trying this. You know, I don't think they use the word scam, but trying this racket for some years now. Now that the kid is 18 now, it's two of them, two adults trying to go at this thing, and I believe the older kid who's now an adult is defending themselves in court, something like that.
Because other lawyers, according to Tiffany Haddish's lawyers, aren't willing to take the case or
have
dropped from the case.
And then twist to the story. Up pops Benjamin Crump. I'm kidding. No, I bet you with the high profileness of this case, somebody's gonna pop up. A lawyer is gonna pop up.
Yeah, it's just a bad week. Remember that show on VH1, Best Week Ever? And I literally only remember it because I interviewed the guys for when they came to my college, when I for a college TV station I worked for. But it was a cool show, Best Week Ever. But a lot of people be having the worst week ever, bro. That should be piling on, bro. And when it's in the media, because you can tell by the way Aries Spears responded to everything Lizzo did, on top of like he responded to Lizzo's VMA speech. He responded to what people were saying before that. And Gary Owen said this when he did like the Breakfast Club and Brilliant Idiots. You be reading everything that's about you. You don't even really like in your world. You really think everything's revolving around you. Like everyone out there is dissing you, and it's really not that big. And if you kind of just fall back, a lot of this shit just goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you keep doubling down, then you start making more enemies and people pop up in the past because it's the court of public opinion. But yeah, definitely. If Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish are innocent, I definitely will be bringing it back up on this podcast because I hate when people bring stuff up and then don't like, you know what I mean, bring it. If they innocent, they proven innocent. Everybody need to shout it from the rooftops the same way you shouted this shit too. And if they're not, I mean, you know, then they're gonna have to pay the consequences.
Well, this is not yet a criminal matter, but from a creative standpoint, I just wonder what because I'm sure they were pitching it to each other, and usually two comedians get together. Yeah, that would be funny. You know what else we should do? Not just one kid, bring in a second kid. You know what else would be funny? And this conversation, I wonder how it got to the point of let's produce this, and then they created it. And, you know,
yeah. At some point, someone should have been like, oh, I don't know. But they are both known to get lit. Right. So maybe there was just too much alcohol in the room, or who knows? We'll see. Yeah. Keith, we a little bit short on time, so we're gonna have to get to my favorite segment, man, called Have You Heard? We've talked about this a few times on this podcast, and I've been following this saga since I first heard about it, and it gives me immense joy to announce that Steph Curry has finally graduated from Davidson and has been inducted into the college's Hall of Fame. Steph Curry had a one-man graduation where he got to walk and had his jersey finally put up in the rafters. And if you go back into our archives episodes, I brought this up years ago when I first learned about this, and I thought it was crazy that Davidson didn't do it. But I want to take that back and say I actually now commend Davidson for sticking to their guns, because if you're gonna have a rule, stick to it, right? If you like, yo, you don't graduate from here, we can't retire your jersey. You know what I mean? You left early, we can't do it. No matter who you are, apparently celebrity doesn't mean anything, and I respect that. So, and if you go back in old episodes, you might hear me shitting on Davidson because of it, but I do respect them for that now. But yeah, Keith, have you heard?
Yeah, I mean, I have I heard about the matter. I didn't hear that he actually got his bachelor's and officially got his jersey retired. But Davidson's an elite university, so academically, so they can't back down from that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like how the Ivy League treats scholarship athletes. Even if the second coming of Michael Jordan comes around, like I would like to play for Harvard, but I can't afford it, or whatever they might say. Mm-hmm. They can't back down from their stand. So I respect it on Davidson's piece. Steph Curry, that's really dope that he went. You know, he's one of the greatest basketball players that ever lived, and he went back to school, finished, and wrote his thesis on like pay equity with men and women athletes. So all that's super dope.
Yeah, definitely dope. And I think he got a bachelor's in sociology, which is what I got my major in. So shout out to Steph Curry, man. I need that. If I had to jump alike, can we be twins? Keith, have you heard? We just talked about Aries Spears having the worst week ever. Man, Jay-Z kind of had the best week ever, bro. We're gonna get into that verse in a second that he dropped off of God did, you know what I mean, off the Khaled album. But a company, a perfume company, actually was trying to sue Jay-Z. Parlux Perfume were trying to sue Jay-Z for the unpaid royalties. Basically, they were saying that he didn't promote the gold Jay-Z fragrance when he made several appearances in 2014. Did not appear at the launch and did not do enough to promote it. So they were trying to actually sue him for $67 million in damages, and Jay-Z ended up getting awarded close to $7 million from that because they felt like they actually owed him money. That's a winning right there, bro. They try to sue you and you flip that shit on them. That's you done it.
Yeah, I smell that cologne.
Trash.
Yeah, it's mad. I
Hated
doubt
it.
Jay-Z wore that shit. Yeah, I doubt. I believe, like, I don't know if you ever smelled a woman wear J-Lo perfume, but I believe J-Lo probably wears that from time to time. That gold shit, I do not believe that Jay-Z wears that. I don't believe Michael Jordan ever wore Michael Jordan cologne. So, like,
But is that the
with it,
image that they're putting out, that they actually wear that, or it's just like, yo, this is my brand? Like,
of course, of course. Anytime if somebody slaps their name on some shit, you believe that they wore it. Like I believe.
you think Johnny Depp wears Sauvage?
So by Christian Dior, that's actually pretty nice. I believe
No,
he
but
wears it
well,
in his
no, I think he does, but I'm just saying, I don't look at the commercial and be like, well, Charlize Theron. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if I found out that some of these people in
But the thing is that Jay-Z is brought closer to that brand by saying, "Oh, this is Jay-Z's gold." Nobody says this is. It is still Christian Dior Sauvage. It's still Charlize Theron, whatever she's
for
doing. It's
Gucci, yeah,
still
some shit, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I get it, I get it. But why? Why? Just because it didn't have that je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, if you're into colognes, you smell it, you go, "Oh, this is some TJ Maxx shit. This is some the shit that they put in TJ."
But I thought that's what they were marketing it as. Like, this is like not the.
Yeah,
It's like a lower
yeah,
level.
probably. A lot of times when they sell stuff that for in that price tier colognes,
Mm-hmm.
they still smell good. It's like, all right, you could smell nice for 40, $50 instead of $200 for some cream or something like that. So like,
No.
but this particular one, it just smelled just like there's Axe, and then like this is just like it's like there, like you know what I'm saying, like right above.
You think Jay-Z smelled it and was like, nah, I'm off this. Like, I'm not I'm not with the shits. No,
he probably
I mean,
smelled. He
apparently
probably
no, but
smelled this, and that's not
Jay-Z did
bad.
enough that you knew about it. That they would
Right,
they would have never got their perfume or cologne in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
right,
If they didn't put
yeah,
Jay-Z's name on it. So Jay-Z did enough.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, so it is. Shout out to Jay though. But let's talk about that verse that everybody went crazy on off of that Khaled album, man. I don't like when everybody goes crazy over something. I always feel like there's like a media, like with Netflix, when everybody's like, there's a certain show on Netflix. I'm like, how y'all know? How y'all all watching the same show at once? Like, like is
Yeah.
this just a media, you know what I mean, campaign basically to get it out? But I went and I did listen to the Jay-Z verse and loved it. Loved it. It addressed a lot of things. Said it's 100% facts. Guru says he did it in one take. So it was just more legendary stuff coming out about this verse as time goes on. But what do you think about it? I don't even remember the other people on it. It's Rick Ross and I think Wayne on it too. Like, and it just seems like a Jay-Z song.
Man, I like when Jay-Z makes comes out every now and then and just makes the whole world move. Like he's been doing his business shit for a couple years now. It's been a little while before he put out that verse that everybody's talking about. He literally has everybody's talking about it. He got an entire podcast about this shit, ranking his verses of all time and all this type of shit. It's extra dope, especially as like a lifelong Jay-Z fan. This is super exciting. I don't think he got a swag bag. I just feel as if like, you know, he like I'm still here. Like don't forget,
Yeah, I must have
I'm,
forgot.
yeah, I'm still the man out here.
Man. I like that. I like that when the older like Serena, Serena lost last night, unfortunately, at the US Open, but just going on that run, you know what I mean? You just hold on to it. You're like, yes, let's do it one last time. Let's hold on to it.
Right.
I was watching UFC a couple weeks ago and Aldo was fighting. And I was just like, yeah, like just give me that feeling back in the day when you was knocking niggas out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take it back to that. So yeah, no, shout out to that. Also, Keith, have you heard Bank of America is trying a new thing where they allow minorities to have zero down payment mortgages to help them buy their first homes. I got real hype when I heard about this, and then I found out it's only in select cities. But I think they're going to do it as a trial. Right now, they're starting it out in Black and Hispanic neighborhoods in Charlotte, North Carolina, Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Miami. But I guess as a trial run, and if it does take off, that'd be super dope. But have you heard about that, and what do you think?
That's dope. I'm sure there's a lot more behind that because there's a lot of zero down payment loans right before the economy crashed and the last decade. Well, before the last decade. So I would like. I don't know. I never heard of that. I haven't heard about it. Definitely dope. Making the road to home ownership and the American dream a little bit easier to get to, especially for people who, for generations and generations, and for the entire lifetime of this country, being property owners, it's been super hard. In fact, sometimes illegal, or they've made it legal to stop these people from becoming property owners. So the Bank of America is doing this in good faith, and they're looking to really help people, then I'm all for it.
Word. And you heard about the new way that they be holding us back is with the appraisals. Like black families they're having like white people step in for them. And then on the second appraisal, the value goes way up. So like they kind of been undervalued when they get their house appraised when they're trying to sell it.
Yeah, that definitely ain't a new thing, but
Well, the
yeah,
new thing
that's
about having a white family step in for you, I guess.
but yeah, but even so, I guess now it's just in the media. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
Cory Booker said his parents, when they were buying a crib in suburban New Jersey, they had like a white friend, and
Pretend like he was buying it.
yeah.
Mm,
So they get the proper price and nobody front on them or nothing like that. And then they came like on closing, they went up, yo.
this is
Welcome
my
to the
proxy.
neighborhood. Yeah, exactly.
We got to get up out of here, Keith, because I do got to go hit the road. Before we do, I do want to give a shout out to people in Jackson, Mississippi, man. From what I understand, they are still struggling with no water. So our prayers go out to them, and do y'all research and go, because the fact that this isn't getting the media attention that it deserves, it's sad, and I wish we had more time to even talk about it. Hopefully I'll get to it on another episode. Hopefully it's not going on by the time we record another episode, but our thoughts and prayers with the people in Jackson, Mississippi. Hopefully we get some water. They're being told like if they have to shower with your mouth closed. Like they're standing on these crazy lines for bottled water. Like just this is just a lack of infrastructure. So hopefully thoughts and prayers are with y'all. Keith, another episode in the books, brother. Where can my people find you at, my man?
Instagram, emo_35.
You know, your people can find me on Instagram at Pliccapeezy, PLICCAPEEZY. You can also find Perfect Talk Podcast on Instagram at Perfect Talk Radio. Right there on the Insta. Follow DJ Playboy on Twitter at DJ Playboy. Check out every episode on our website, www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. Every episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast. My radio show, The Night Shift, and the radio show I do with my brother, DJ Show, Money Talks Radio. Also every episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever your podcasts are found. So please leave a rating. Please like it. Please review it. Also check us out on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like it, tell a friend, because we're going to keep doing the damn thing and making it bigger and better for y'all. Keith, I told you about a book I was checking out earlier. It's called Breaking the Habit of Being You. Actually, I have to make sure I'm not fucking that up. But I'm actually listening to it on Audible right now. Real cool book. Trying to help me really just get my mind in a different place. Oh, but Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I think it's by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And real cool. It's actually about meditation. But it really breaks down quantum physics and envisioning success to get it to manifest in your life. But what are you
feel like you
consuming?
connect to it?
Say that again.
You feel like you connect to it because you mentioned like physics and some of these concepts that could be pretty lofty to.
Yeah, I do, because some of it I was already exposed to, so I was already aware
Gotcha.
of. I actually was aware of this guy in a story that he tells in the book, because of like a motivational speech I had heard before. But no, I do connect with it, and I think a lot of it's talking to me. A lot of it's really explaining some of the feelings and stuff that I've had, experiences I've had. So it is a real good book. But what are you consuming nowadays, brother?
It's funny. I'm trying to read a little bit more, but I'm doing fiction. I'm reading a novel called Black Cake. It's basically about uh, it would make for interesting, like maybe a Lifetime show or something like that. But I guess I could tolerate. I hate Lifetime, but I could tolerate stuff like that more from a book. This mom dies and records a tape about all these family secrets that her kids didn't know about. So the kids is looking at this tape like, "Oh, I got a sister." Oh, all kinds of crazy shit.
Okay, that sounds dope. Yeah, I gotta get into some fiction too, man, before the year is up. But yeah, man, we up out of here, bro. Happy Labor Day to everybody out there. Be safe. By the time y'all hear this Labor Day, you probably didn't pass. But hope you had a safe one. I'm about to go be in Newburgh rocking out. So wish me luck. About to go do my thing. Shout out to AO Niche and Keith, stay safe out there, brother. Say goodbye to the people, man.
Peace.
Peace.